I'm like 57 years old, and I can still call up my mom and cry on her shoulder and tell her my story and have her share my life with her. And I got to be 72 years old and still was able to call up my mom, and Lawton is 70 and me are 69. I mean, what an amazing thing that is to have had your mom in your life for 60. Sorry. You don't look at me. But I mean, just what a remarkable blessing it has been to have mom in our lives for that long. It's just astounding. One of the truths of the human condition is that we all eventually become our parents, right? Whether we want to or not. And I certainly spent more years than most probably trying really not to become my parents. And probably in my 40s, I kind of came to terms with my father and really understood who he was and was really proud to be, the son of my father. But mom is a lot more complicated. Of course, women are a lot more complicated than men in general, but because, mom was not an intellectual. Daddy lived in his head, mom not so much. I remember if you had to try to have an intellectual conversation with mom, she'd usually go kind of blow you off, she just kind of didn't want to go there. And I realized, after a while that mom was amazing at living in the present. She really lived in the here and now. I mean, there's a saying in Zen Buddhism, chop wood, carry water, which means when you're chopping wood, you chop wood, and that's all you're doing, you're carrying water. And that's how mom lived her life. She was in the here and now in a way that probably more than anybody I've ever known. And it took so long to really come to figure that out, and so what a beautiful thing that was. Her husband, her mom and her husband died 6 weeks apart that one summer. And a month after Daddy died, she was in the jungles of Belize hunting orchids, because mom was not somebody I think who spent a lot of time regretting the past or worrying about the future. She was right there in the present, feeling what the present had to offer. And I don't think I ever remember mom being bored. There was always something she was into. Even when I called her up on the phone, I tried to make her laugh, and it was always fun. But after about 10 minutes, she'd go, "Okay, thanks for calling. We're done now." I mean, she was on back to whatever she wanted to do. So, but oh yes. So I mean, I think some people may spend thousands of hours meditating and in therapy to achieve the state of mind that mom, I think, lived in, in terms of living in the present moment. So one time it was about a month ago, and she was just about to move to assisted living. And I sat down with her and I was telling her how proud we were of her, and I was sort of being philosophical about it and saying it's time to move to a new phase, and I was sort of speaking in abstractions. And she looked at me and said, I really don't care about that crap. and God, I just hooted. We both laughed so loud, because she really didn't, that was not who she was. It was such a beautiful thing. So, I think mom really lived to see and create beauty. Whenever you're with mom, she would always go, "Look, that's so beautiful over there." And I'm probably in my head worried about the past and the future, and she's seeing beauty everywhere. She could really look in any direction and see something beautiful. She had an incredible gift for that. And of course, she was able to create beauty. she was such a master at so many things. Master hostess and everything she did. She was a gourmet cook. She could have been an incredible artist, I think, if she wanted to be an artist. This is one of the many cool baskets that she made. I thought her baskets were better than the teacher at Canuga, after a while when she got good at it. So one summer we were kids, and we were there for 3 weeks. So mom spent the whole 3 weeks making balsa wood fruit, and they were really beautiful. Every single one was just gorgeous and perfect. Apples and pears and plums and things, except the banana. And I remember going, "Mom, that looks like a canoe. That doesn't look like a banana." And so the next summer, she went and carved some curved bananas because that was how she rolled, But so it's certainly all the art talent I have came from mom. Any innate talent, came down through mom because she was such a wonderful artist. And I looking through her jewelry recently, actually 3 days ago, I found the first piece of jewelry I ever gave her. She was still there from 1974. I mean, kind of funky even for 1974, but Mom wore it with such pride, and she was so wonderful about it, and she was so proud to wear it, and it was so beautiful for me in the beginning, trying to be creative and be an artist, that she would do that for me. So, and now my favorite story about Mom. So it's February 9th, 1964. The Beatles are coming on Ed Sullivan. We're sitting in the first floor of 103 East Bay, and Daddy and Lawton and Mead and I are sitting in chairs, and Mom's kind of standing behind. And the Beatles come on, they sing All My Lovin', and they finish the first song, and Mom kind of just goes, "That's not their real hair." I can't make this up. And she walked up the stairs and walked away. Now, 73 million people watched the Beatles that day, and I bet you there's only one of 73 million that had that reaction. I mean, she was totally one of a kind, Mom was. So, thank you, Mom, for being such a wonderful inspiration and so beautiful and so loving to us for all these years.
Thank you, Michael.